So today I'm going to try to answer the question that's on a lot of people's minds, which is what is Utah housing market looking like right now? Are we in a buyer's market, seller's market, or are we more of a balanced market? Now, before I dive in, no matter who you ask, they're all going to give you a different answer. For example, if you read, KSL or Deseret News or something like that, they have their own take. Then you read some other news platform that's looking at a national level. The reality is Utah, or just real estate in general, I mean, is very hyper local and local specific. And so even as we talk about today what's happening in Utah, we're looking at Utah as a whole, whereas your neighborhood might be in a different position. So I just like to throw that disclaimer out there. If you have any questions as I go through this, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. Now, as we go into this, one of the things that you'll find in the news is that our inventory levels, or the homes that are currently for sale, are way higher than they were last year. And people use that statistic to show that we're in a buyer's market. Now, the reality is what I prefer to do is compare to where we were in 2019 to where we are now. Because a year ago, we were still recovering from the most severe seller market that we've ever seen in Utah and the lowest amount of homes for sale, right? And so, of course, that jump is going to look big. 2019, we had a much normal market, so it's better to compare there. So that's what we have here, these two graphs. In 2019 to 2022, the graph on the left, you can see how severe the shortage of supply was during the pandemic boom. On the graph on the map, on the right, shows the difference between April 2019 to April 2025. And we're looking at the amount of homes that are for sale. Now, before I dive deeper into this, I like to just quickly go over an economics 101 type lesson. I'm sure many of you already know this, but in a market where you're trying to position your home and sell it for the highest price, just like any type of product that you're trying to sell, ideally you want to sell it to a market where the supply is low and the demand is really high, right? Now, this is what we experienced in COVID more so than we've ever experienced, right? A buyer's market would look more like a market where the supply outpaces the demand. There's more homes for sale than there are buyers trying to buy them. What we're starting to see through this map that we'll look at here, Utah County specifically, April 2025 levels were just about equal to April 2019. And so what we're starting to see is a more balancing of inventory levels to a more healthy rate. Obviously, interest rates have gone up higher, and so that demand has gone down a little bit, but that demand is still there. When we look at how many months of inventory we have, we're still below the threshold that would consider us being in a buyer's market. Now, with that being said, the market that we're probably experiencing right now is more of a balanced supply with a balanced demand. And so what that means for sellers is you can sell your home for a great price, right? When we compare it to 2019, I think prices are like 47, something like that percent higher, 32. Actually, I put it right here, 43% higher from 2019. But with that being said, buyers just have a little bit more negotiating power. They're a little bit more price sensitive. So you need to be careful to not overprice your home. Whereas, maybe in previous years, you could have gotten away with that. And so that's kind of the overall picture of where we're at right now. We're experiencing a balanced market. I think that there are great deals out there to be found by buyers. There's also an awesome opportunity to sell your home for a wonderful price right now. That being said, like I mentioned, real estate's hyper specific. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. And of course, if you are looking to make a move anytime soon, don't hesitate to respond to this email or give me a call. I'd be happy to help out in any way that I can, or just even answer some questions. Appreciate you, and you have a good rest of your week.